Good evening and welcome to the Standards of Geekness YouTube channel. My name is Evan. This is our first ever Pokemon Pocket TCG video. This past week, we saw the release of the second core set, Space Time Smackdown with Palkia and Dialga. We've seen an interesting development within the metagame of Pokemon Pocket, with Genetic Apex, the very first set, and then Mythical Island. Psychic and Water were the predominantly dominant decks, with Pikachu EX and Charizard just mattered in there as well. It's been really interesting to watch how this past week there was a tremendous amount of tournaments going on. There was a Hooglandia and Spragels Open. This deck right here, Magnezone Darkrai, by far and away the best performing deck on the weekend. There was tons of Greninja variants of this deck. Gyarados also had a really huge showing, and then Charizard, I think was preying on the Steel decks. They're also new to the metagame. But just to kind of recap, we have a brand new Magnemite, which allows us to take advantage of a loophole with our energy that I'll explain in a minute. One colorless energy to ram for 10 damage. So the loophole that I was referring to basically is this deck doesn't play with lightning energy. The only way it can get lightning energy is through Genetic Apex, Volt Charge from Magneton. It gets the energy each turn. The goal is to stack 3 lightning energy up on this, and then eventually evolve him into Magnezone. Now, while Magnezone might not look like much on the surface, 140 HP, 3 energy, 1 lightning, 2 colorless, discard lightning energy from this Pokemon for 110 damage. It matters with the strategy of this deck, because this new guy came to the play. Darkrai EX, his Nightmare Aura ability to, whenever you attach a dark energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, do 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. This deck's all about incremental value, incremental damage. It just takes advantage of the ability to just play cleanup. And then its attack is 2 dark and a colorless for Dark Prism, 80 damage. I mean, it's really good value. It's got 140 HP. And then for those of you who aren't familiar, this card came out in the subset for Genetic Apex called Mythical Island. Druddigon is basically a giant wall that will deal incremental damage throughout the whole game. You're never going to attack with him. We've got 2 Pokeballs, some staples, 2 Professors Research staples. I wanted to take a minute to talk about Pokemon Communication. This card is one of my favorite cards in the set. It functions kind of as like a half Pokeball, because you take a Pokemon from your hand and switch it with a random Pokemon in your deck, so you don't have any decisions there. But the ability to just get an evolution, whether it's Magnezone or Magneton, is just really, really, really critical. Just having that it's a game changer. One of my other favorite cards from this set, Giant Capes actually replace Potion in almost all of my decks. That is a choice basically because the metal decks and the lightning decks that are anti-Pokemon tools, which is another new thing to pocket with this set, are super inconsistent. They're really interesting, and I fully intend on building them and playing around with them, whether it's here on YouTube or on Twitch on our Big Dog Gaming 001 channel. It's just really interesting. Like I said, 2 Professors Research, 2 Leaps. It's just a really good card. Then we've got 1 copy of Cyrus. So like I talked about, incremental value and incremental damage. This lets you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it to the active spot. This essentially functions as a way to kind of pick people off late in the game. Sabrina kind of has a similar function. It can be used also by time, though. Switching out your opponent's active Pokemon to bench or from their bench, they get to choose, so there's a little bit less agency there. This deck's just a lot of fun to play. We're going to do some solo missions. Probably about 3 of them, just to kind of give you a feel for how the deck works. I'd be happy to, at some point, stream this over on Twitch, just to show how actual matchups will interact. Let's give this a whirl and see what happens. All right, we've got the energy advantage. All right, we've got our wall. Looks like everything's coming up Millhouse this game. We're going to start. So yeah, we've got 3 of our core pieces. We have our wall, we have Darkrai for punch damage. Magnemite is just going to sit there until we draw Magnezone. See, what did they play here? Probably should actually pay attention. Just a Pokeball. All right. We'll put that there on Darkrai and enter. This also puts them, they're going to evolve here. They're going to slap, probably would be my guess. But they're going to get knocked back down to 40. So they have a lot of choices here to make. Obviously, with this game, it's the computer controlling them, so there's a lot less agency that they're going to have. And then we're going to go ahead and end our turn. Now, they'll probably play the Mischievous EX Evolution, would be my guess. It's a computer, so they're a little predictable. Interesting choice. Optimally, you would put that probably on the Cresselia. That's okay, because you can evolve that like they just did. Okay. All right. So we haven't drawn in our Magneton yet, which is slightly problematic. Yeah, we're okay with this. We're not under. I mean, we're under pressure because they'll get a point here, but they're going to take 20 on the crackback there. So they're gonna have a choice to make. We'll just send out Darkrai, see if we can get an easy game here. Highly unlikely it'll be easy. Well, that presents us with an interesting option. We're going to go ahead and Sabrina. This is one of the corner cases where we force them, because it's going to cost them 2 energy to retreat, or they're going to have to spend a leaf to do it. And then this will put them down to 20. So they're in an interesting position where they have to essentially retreat it back or else. Or we're going to win the game. All right. Well, that'll be an easy choice there. And then we'll just go ahead and, pick it up. That'll be nice and easy. Obviously, games are going to be far different once you're playing live against live people. I just wanted to demonstrate what this deck is capable of. So we'll do 3 of these, and then I'll also this is more of our content channel. I also operate a Twitch channel, Big Dog Gaming 001. Make sure to give that a follow. I created that channel basically as a way to celebrate a cherished friend who passed recently, and that was our nickname for him. And it's just, it would mean a lot to support the channel. Subscribe here, but also subscribe there. We're going to be doing a lot of content. Only 7 more to go, right? Maybe eventually we'll get a Cresselia. I tell you what, guys, in this video, I'll also open up the packs. We'll do 2 more. Kind of forget that this is a thing sometimes. I do think Cresselia EX is an interesting choice. It's kind of a tank. It's a self-healing tank. It's just with Dark being so good right now, I just don't think it has a place in the metagame. This will show us going first. Druddigon. Looks like all of our pieces came together today. So everything coming out Millhouse. We'll overextend too. They're going to get the energy initiative, but with Druddigon, it kind of... We're okay with that. We'll crack Professor's Research. Magnezone, Professor's Research. Okay, we're looking good. I'm not super concerned yet, so... Excuse me. Do a 20. Now, this will, they'll heal that back, but, we can at least get some chip shot damage in there. Okay. Was not expecting that. Go ahead. It's 9 cards left in deck. You'd think we would draw a Magneton at some point. Okay. Well, then they'll put the energy there. Interesting dynamic. I think there is some potential here. I just don't think that it's where it needs to be at. There we go. Better late than never, I guess, right? Yeah. Because now they're gonna, if they tack into it, it takes away their healing there. If I had to guess, they're gonna evolve that Ralts if they can, and try to get that up to Gardevoir so they can try to generate more value. They'll take 20. It'll undo that. Let's go ahead and get that Magnemite out of the way. Go ahead and get our Volt Charge out the way. Go ahead and get that out the way. I can be patient here, so we're not under an immediate pressure. Enter. So now they're going to heal. They're going to Professor's Research. Interesting. Like I said before, it's the computer. And I'm obviously okay giving up the 1 point here because I'm gonna clean out for 2 points here, and then they're gonna be on the back foot. They're gonna have lost a cape. Speaking of cape, ask and he shall appear. All right, we're gonna go ahead and Bolt Charge. I don't think we'll play Magnemite there. We'll go ahead and start building this Darkrai. They're also going to lose a huge tempo momentum here. Because it's going to take their... I'm going to get 2 points, kill their Pokemon. They're going to have lost 3 energy. They're going to be stuck with 2 Ralts that can't do damage. So, like I said, this deck's all about leveraging incremental value. I'm going to probably win on the next turn. This doesn't demonstrate, meta-wise, what is this capable of. But like I said, we wanted to kind of go over a little old switcheroo, I guess. Go ahead and deal 20 there. Bolt Charge that up. And I'm not even going to bother playing the Magnezone again. This is when I do these videos, I basically try to plan them as here's the deck, here's a couple samples of how this deck works, so you can kind of see like how to, and I don't always profess to play the most optimally, but how I would sequence things. We'll do one more of these, and then I'll open up the packs that we got just to kind of end the video on an interesting note. And we'll do one more. We're going first, so they've got the energy initiative, and it is entirely possible. With these expert level ones here, it is entirely possible for you to lose the game. So I'm okay losing the game. This is not a stressful thing to me. That said, they're not super overextended, so let's go ahead. Oh, we got Magnemite and Magneton, so let's see what we can do here. Professor's Research. Okay, we have our Magneton line. Let's see what happens here. Darkrai, okay. Everything's coming up Millhouse. I'm comfortable just ending there. Because now they're gonna probably play Professor's Research. Maybe a Pokeball. Giant Cape. So Cresselia EX is a giant wall, like I've stated before. Oh, 2 copies, okay. Clearly we are cooking, huh? I'm comfortable ending the turn. They'll stack up an energy. Heal. We can just wait. Go ahead and fire off that Bolt Charge. Go ahead and Darkrai. I'm gonna go ahead and just on the off chance they're able to, Giovanni or do something to push through. It'll be a really interesting thing here. There is a world where I could have Sabrina there, at least forcing them to kind of do something a little different. So they'll heal, they'll attack, they'll take 20. I think I'm okay with that. Because they will take 20 on the chip back, and then I can... Interesting, okay. So, I think here... I'm going to play it safe and bring out Magneton. We're going to go ahead and play Magnezone. We're going to... Let's take the easy out here. So this puts us back in the lead. They'll bring out their Magnesis. We're going to go ahead and retreat our Magnezone and be okay with that. It's going to be confused. That'll help it. That's okay. This is where Sabrina kind of comes in clutch. They're going to put out their EX or the Mischievous, which if they put out the Mischievous, we win on the spot. If they put out that EX, it's got no energy. Okay. Let's go ahead and retreat. And just, yeah. Go ahead and drop that there. Ping in for 2. Dark Prism them, and let's just clean it up. I'll also be streaming this probably either Wednesday or Friday this week, just testing this deck. I'll probably have a couple more deck profiles throughout the week. I'm hoping to churn out at least 2 or 3. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and open these packs. And that'll be a good way to end the evening, being that digital cardboard crack addiction. Oh, apparently I forgot to claim one of these. Ugh, I don't know how many of these guys I got. They really did the non-Infernape line dirty with no EXs for them. This card's actually really good in the steel decks. It's a very anti-tool tech. 1 steel for 50 damage. It's 80 and it's basic. It's the deck basically. It is the only basic in the deck because you have the fossils, which you then evolve into. I believe it's Bastidion. It's a really interesting incremental value deck. It's really really good in um, tool heavy events. It can dish out and a ton of damage. Maybe one day we'll get that Crusadia. I think we got one or two picks left. 3. Nope, 2. 2. Come on. Oh. And last but not least, well, that will do it for us. As always, give us a like,